And today's the Hindu Daily Editorial of September 12th, 2025. So, without any further delay in time, let us get into the video and get started with the vocabulary words. So, a very good morning to all. And today's the Hindu Daily Editorial. So, welcome back to the class and let us get started. First part we have vocabulary, and the first word on the screen we have is encumbrance. The first word is encumbrance. Encumbrance acts as a noun and encumbrance mean bharam. So the meaning in English is a burden, hindrance, or something that makes progress difficult. Something which obstructs the progress is called as encumbrance. Something which obstructs the progress or causes a burden is encumbrance. Then synonyms are obstacle, hindrance. Obstacle and hindrance are the opposite of or the synonyms of encumbrance. And moving on to the opposite, we have aid and benefit. Aid and benefit. Aid and benefit means help. Something which is in needy is called as aid. So antonyms of encumbrance are aid and benefit. Example: his old debts proved to be a serious encumbrance to the starting of a new business. So his old debts. So debts in the sense loans. His old loans proved to be a serious burden to start a new business. So it is obvious that if you are having a old debts, then starting a new business would be a burden because of those loans. Then the next word we have is smear. The next word is smear, and it acts as both a noun or a verb. It acts as noun as well as a verb, and it means మరక పడినట్లు చెయ్యి. మరక పడినట్లు చెయ్యి. To spread a greasy or sticky substance over a surface. To spread a greasy or sticky substance over a surface is called as smearing. Synonyms are stain, blot. Stain and blot. Stain in the sense maraka. Blot also in the sense something spread across. Then antonyms are clean, polish. Clean and polish are the opposite of smear. Example: the opposition tried to smear the candidate's reputation with false allegation. So the opposition party tried to fade the candidate's reputation with the false allegations. Then the next word we have is benevolent, and benevolent acts as an adjective. Benevolent means shreyobilashi. Benevolent means shreyobilashi. Well meaning and kindly, motivated by goodwill is called as benevolent. Synonyms are generous, charitable. Generous and charitable, and antonyms cruel, harsh, or malevolent. So, if you observe this word, Beni, Beni generally means good. Volent in the sense voice. Consider volent as voice. Benevolent means good voice. Nothing but good meaning and kindly, being kind. So, antonyms are malevolent. Mala in the sense bad. Volent in the sense voice. So, malevolent means bad wishing. Then example we have the benevolent teacher helped poor students with free books and guidance. So the benevolent, a good teacher helped poor students with free books and free guidance. Next word we have is ravenous. The next word on the screen is ravenous, and it acts as an adjective. Ravenous acts as an adjective, and ravenous mean viparitamaina. Ravenous means viparitamaina. Extremely hungry, eager for food or satisfaction. Extremely hungry, eager for food or satisfaction is called as ravenous. Synonyms are famished, voracious. Famished and voracious are in the same meaning of ravenous. Coming to the antonyms, we have content, replete. We have content and replete as opposite words of ravenous, which means not hungry. Example: after the long trekking, the hikers were ravenous and ate everything quickly. So, after a long trekking, the hikers who went to trek were ravenous, were very hungry, and ate everything very quickly. The next word we have is clemency. The next word is clemency, and clemency acts as a noun. Clemency acts as a noun, and clemency mean kshamapana. Clemency mean kshamapana. Mercy or leniency shown towards someone who could be punished harshly. So, if a criminal or any guy who did illegal things would be punished harshly, and if mercy or leniency is shown towards them, then it is called as clemency. Synonyms are leniency, compassion. Leniency and compassion. Antonyms are severity, cruelty. Severity and cruelty are the antonyms of clemency. Then, moving on to the example, we have the judge showed clemency by reducing the prisoner's sentence. So, the judge showed mercy by reducing the prisoner's sentence. Generally, if his sentence was for 10 to 15 years, then if we reduce it for 7 to 8 years, then we can say that the judge showed the clemency. Next word we have obfuscation. The next word is obfuscation. It acts as both noun or an adjective. Obfuscation acts as a noun or an adjective, and it means aspashtata, uncertainty, unclear. The act of making something unclear, confusing, or difficult to understand. The act of making something unclear, confusing, and difficult to understand is called as obfuscation. Synonyms or the same meanings of obfuscation are ambiguity, blurring. Ambiguity and blurring are the same of obfuscation. Antonyms or opposite words include transparency, simplicity. Transparency and simplicity are the antonyms of obfuscation. Example: the company's financial report was filled with obfuscation to hide the losses. So, the company's report was filled with obfuscation, filled with unclarity to hide the losses. So as to hide their losses, they made the report unclear. Then, next word we have is imperative. The next word is imperative, and it acts as noun and an adjective. It acts as noun as well as an adjective, and imperative means atyavasaram. Imperative means atyavasaram. Something that is of vital importance and must be done. Something that is of vital importance, very important, and must be done is called as imperative. Synonyms: crucial, mandatory. Crucial and mandatory. Antonyms are trivial, unnecessary. Trivial, unnecessary. Trivial in the sense not significant. Unnecessary also mean the same. Example: Ecological imperatives must be addressed to resolve the fisheries conflict. So the ecological im- importance must be addressed to resolve the fisheries conflict. Conflict in the sense a fight. Next word we have is respite. Respite acts as noun and a verb. Respite acts as noun and verb, and respite means Vishranti. Respite means Vishranti. A short period of rest or relief from something difficult or unpleasant. A short period of temporary relief from unpleasant thing is called as respite. Synonyms: break, pause, break or pause, and antonyms are persistence, burden. Persistence and burden are the opposite of respite. Example: the weekend provided a brief respite from the hectic schedule. So generally for the officers who work from 9 to 5, they do get a brief respite from their weekly hectic schedule only in this weekend. So the weekend provided them a brief respite, brief relief from the unpleasant work hectic schedule. Next word we have is peak. Next word is peak, and it acts as noun or a verb. It acts as noun or a verb, and peak means Agrahamu. Peak means Agrahamu. A feeling of irritation or resentment, often due to a slight or insult. A feeling of irritation or resentment due to a slight or insult is called as peak. Synonyms: annoyance, resentment. Annoyance and resentment are the synonyms of peak, and antonyms: satisfaction, delight. Satisfaction and delight are the opposite of peak. Example: he left the meeting in a fit of pique after his idea was rejected. So the person has left a meeting in fit of pique because of the irritation after his idea was rejected. Then next word we have is distant. The next word is distant, and it acts as a verb. And distant means ubbinchuta. Distant means ubbinchuta. To swell or expand due to pressure from within. To swell or expand due to the pressure from within is called as distant. Synonyms: swelling, expanding, and antonyms are shrinking, deflate. Shrinking and deflate are the antonyms or opposite of distant. Example: his stomach began to distend after drinking too much of water. So his stomach began to distend in the sense to swell after drinking too much of water. So we have successfully completed the first part, which is vocabulary, and now moving on to the second, one word substitutions. The first word on the screen is cacographer. The first word is cacographer. It means a person with bad handwriting or poor spelling skills. A person with bad handwriting or poor spelling skills is called as cacographer. So generally caco in the sense negative, grapher in the sense someone who writes. So generally we have cacophony. Cacophony in the sense bad speaking. Cacophony. So cacographer in the sense someone who writes bad or has a poor spelling skills is called as a cacographer. Next, nostalgia. Nostalgia. So I'm sure that every one of you had listened this word once in your lifetime of having the word nostalgia. I'm feeling nostalgic. Nostalgic means sentimental. A sentimental longing for the past. A sentimental longing for the past is called as nostalgia. Then next word we have is apostate. Next word is apostate, and it means a person who abandons a religion, belief, or cause. A person who abandons religion, belief, or cause is called as apostate. Apostate is different from atheist. Atheist is a person who does not believe in God, whereas apostate is a person who abandons a religion. So make sure that apostate and atheist are not synonyms. Next we have gregarious. Next word is gregarious, and it means sociable, fond of company. Every human is gregarious, means he is fond of company. If another person joins him, then he likes it. So gregarious is kind of sociable. So now let us move on to the idioms and phrases. So the first idiom on the screen we have drop in on. Drop in on. Drop in on means make a casual or informal visit to a person or place. Make a informal visit to a person or place is called as drop in on. When your childhood friends suddenly visit your home, then you can say, my best friend had made a drop in on. Then cover a lot of ground. Cover a lot of ground. This idiom implies to discuss everything in detail. To discuss everything in detail can be replaced with cover a lot of ground. Next idiom, birds of a feather. Birds of a feather. Birds of a feather means of the same kind or nature. Of the same kind or nature is birds of a feather. The next idiom, go through fire and water. Go through fire and water. So the idiom go through fire and water means to experience many difficulties. To experience many difficulties is termed as go through fire and water. If you have faced many problems or difficulties while achieving your success, after your success you can just say have went through fire and water. The final idiom on the screen we have a hard nut to crack. A hard nut to crack means something which is difficult to deal with. Something which is difficult to deal with is called as a hard nut to crack. Now let us see some of the previously asked questions related to today's class. So in SSC CGL 2018, the judge showed clemency by reducing the prisoner's sentence. What does the word clemency mean? So as discussed in the vocabulary part, clemency means showing mercy. Clemency is showing mercy. In IBPS SO 2021, the financial report was full of obfuscation. The word obfuscation means obfuscation, as discussed, means uncertainty, confusion. So option C is the right one. The next question, SSC CGL 2017. A person who abandons a religion or belief is called as apostate. We have abundance and it starts with A. Apostate starts with A. You can keep this as a shortcut. Then SSC CGL 2016. A hard nut to crack. A hard nut to crack means a difficult problem. A difficult problem. So we have successfully completed today's session, and if you did like this session, then make sure to like the video and subscribe the channel and share it with your friends who is preparing for the same competitive examination. So if you want the PDF or else quizzes related to today's class, then make sure to join the Telegram channel English with Technical Monish, which the link is given in the description, or else join by scanning this QR code. So see you guys in tomorrow's class. Just spend 20 minutes with me and I'm promising you that I'll make you a master in your English vocabulary skills. Thank you for watching this video. See you guys in tomorrow's video. Till then, keep studying and keep practicing. Goodbye.